it'll be offering free Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines for anyone over the age of 12 starting tomorrow. The vaccines will be administered at the Anaheim Convention Center. People can walk up and get the shots or schedule an appointment. The vaccines will be available from tomorrow through Saturday. Well, an alleged swatting incident has happened in the city of Lakewood. A manifesto was posted online on Saturday actually, threatening a mass shooting targeting minorities in the area. A name was attached to the post, and the LA County Sheriff's Department contacted that person. The person has been cooperative with authorities and may have been the target of the swatting attempt. Police say he is not a suspect in the investigation. Well, police in Miami-Dade say they are still looking for 3 men who shot at people coming out of a banquet hall Saturday night. Miami-Dade Police Director Freddie Ramirez says the 3 waited more than 3.5 hours before the shooting.
When these suspects began firing, there was return fire. There's multiple casings throughout the scene that establishes that.
2 people were killed in the shooting. They say the shooting was not random. Well, employees at the light rail yard in San Jose say the guy who shot and killed 9 of their co-workers last week was known to lose his temper at work. They say he had an outburst on the radio system just a month ago. They say the guy also complained about payroll and vacation issues and had angry rants about his colleagues. Today marks the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre. It was May 31st, 1921. A white mob attacked the black community in the suburb of Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was known as Black Wall Street. LA political analyst Earl Ofari Hutchinson says the anniversary is significant for African Americans in Southern California.
So many of the issues that came up with the Tulsa Massacre, namely racial violence, we still see that being played out today. So there's a direct tie between the past and the present.
Hundreds of people were killed and thousands more were left homeless after 18 hours of violence. All right, when we come back, I want to go over some of the facts about why we commemorate Memorial Day, and specifically why this day was first memorialized. And I'll tell you some of the events that are happening today for Memorial Day and kind of give you a preview of what the show is. I really wanted to do a show today that focused on our veterans and memorials and where you could honor and those sorts of things. So that's kind of what you'll see. It's a running theme throughout today, as you can imagine. Soren Crump, good morning to you. What's up with this stall on the 405?
Northbound side in Westminster, there is a stall. It's just before Bolsa Chica Road. It's taking with that right lane. It looks like CHP is currently on scene. Heading to Diamond Bar on the eastbound side of 60 at Grand. A 2-car crash along the right shoulder. In Claremont on the eastbound side of the E10 at just after Indian Hill Boulevard. There's a crash blocking the right lane. And a check of conditions on the northbound side of the 405 through Lawndale. Looks like things are moving really well right now. From Inglewood Avenue, you ride to the 10. It's 12 minutes. And it's a 25-minute ride to the 101. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Soren Crump.
5:06 on your wake-up call. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. On this Memorial Day, why do we commemorate specifically today as the day? What city is known as the birthplace of Memorial Day? Do you have any clue? I printed out this Memorial Day trivia questions and answers, and not because I wanted to play a trivia game with everybody, but because I was specifically curious, and I thought, well, if I want to know, maybe you want to know as well. Memorial Day's birthplace was Waterloo, New York. Did you have any idea what it was originally known as? It was known as Decoration Day. Memorial Day was first recognized on May 30th, 1868. But I thought this part was interesting. It wasn't actually named Memorial Day by the federal government until 1967, which I find so intriguing because if you think about it, who is going to... That's not a partisan issue. I don't care what side you sit on. I don't care if you're not political at all. Anybody would have a heart and have an appreciation for what our men and women do in the service. Why wouldn't you want to have a Memorial Day? Anyway, 1868, it was first recognized on, and it wasn't until 1967 that the federal government actually recognized it. Now, Memorial Day moved from May 30th to the last Monday in May in 1971. And until then, they had the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, and that's why it moved. All right, Arlington National Cemetery. Did you know that it used to belong to a general? It was, I'll give you this. It was a general who now, well, not now, but was a Confederate general, and it's a general who's been in the news a lot because he is so controversial that they have decided to take his name off of a lot of buildings and schools. Any idea? Robert E. Lee. As in, yes, that Lee. So, if you can imagine, my husband's family has a very, very, very long history in the military. One side, his mom's side, is General Claire Chenault, the Flying Tigers. So he is a Chenault. His mother was Jennifer Chenault, till she became Jennifer Lee. And his father's side of the family is the Robert E. Lee side. See, if he hadn't gotten into the military, I'm pretty sure they would have written him out of the will. Something. All right, who spoke at the Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery? Any idea? The very first one. James Garfield. When was the Tomb of the Unknowns at Arlington Cemetery established? 1921. And that sort of makes sense. I get that. That is a date that I'm okay with. Do you have any idea what poem inspired the traditional wearing and planting of poppy blossoms for Memorial Day? If you ever go to a grocery store and you see a veterans group sitting outside and they're selling poppies, that's what it's for. It's a commemoration of Memorial Day. That was In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. Any idea which battle inspired In Flanders Fields, the poem? World War I. Which president signed the National Moment of Remembrance Act? You don't have to be too old to remember this one. It was Bill Clinton. Memorial Day initially honored only the fallen from which war? The American Civil War. I think that's a thing, too, that I see Memorial Day as all-encompassing. Not just those who fought and gave the ultimate sacrifice in a battle while serving their country. But I also see it as a day that you honor anybody who, during their lifetime, was part of our patriotism, was served our country. This is a day for me to honor the memory of those who served so that our flag could fly freely. I posted a picture last night of the flag in front of my house, and that was my sentiment to it. I think it's important. How should American flags mark Memorial Day? This, I have to say, I have been a violator of. I did not know this. At half staff until noon, then at full staff until sundown. So if you're able to get to your flag, and God bless you if you just got a flag up today, don't worry about it. If you got to get on the ladder and all of that. But I didn't know that. Actually, you're supposed to do at half staff till noon, then at full staff until sundown. Do you have any idea when TAPS was written? I'll tell you, it was before the first Memorial Day was recognized. So you had to keep score on that one. 1862. Memorial Day is held in May. Do you know why this one? Why is Memorial Day held in May? It's so flowers will be in bloom to decorate soldiers' graves. I did not know that one. How many fallen soldiers were honored at the first Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery? I'll tell you, it's more than a couple thousand. 20,000. And let's do one more. Let's see. How many Americans visit Arlington National Cemetery every year? Any idea? This is obviously pre-pandemic. How many visit Arlington every year? 40 million. In my opinion, it's not enough. If you've ever been to Arlington National Cemetery, I promise you, it will be one of the most moving experiences of your life. When I was in my 20s, my dad, I told you, he retired, for JF Shea. And JF Shea construction company has a little bit of everything going on. My dad's a paver, but at the time, when he was young, he was working on the tunnels in Washington, D.C. And he worked on the specific one, or I guess he spent a lot of his working time when he was down in the tunnels creating the subway system for Washington, D.C., at the one that was just below Arlington National Cemetery. So when I was in my 20s, my dad said that he wanted to take my brother and I and my mom to Washington, D.C. so we could see it, visit all of the museums and that sort of thing. It was kind of our first big family trip now that I think about it. And so we went back to Washington, D.C., but the place that he first wanted to start was that he wanted to go to the subway system and he wanted to see the completion. All he ever knew was being down in that hole, and since then he'd never actually seen the escalator that takes you up out of there. So we decided to do that. What I didn't expect was kind of my reaction when we got up to the top at Arlington. I started to cry. I was 21 years old. My dad was an Air Force reservist, but other than that, I didn't really have any connection to the military at that time. And for whatever reason, it made me tear up. I think it was the flags, and I think it was all of a sudden realizing that all those people's graves that I was looking at gave their life for our country. And there was something really powerful about that. So I say this to you because if you have never been to Arlington, and maybe you don't know a lot, maybe you don't have family members that were in the military like me, all of a sudden, if you have the same reaction like I do, you're going to gain this crazy appreciation for our men and women in the military, and it's just going to make you think. It's just going to make you think what they've sacrificed. And I think it's a really beautiful experience that I'd like to see everybody have. Now, most Memorial Day observances in LA County will be virtual today because of the pandemic. There will be some in-person events, though, in Long Beach, Newhall, and Westlake Village. A reading of the names of service members who have died in combat since 9/11 will start at 5:30 at Rosie the Riveter Park in Long Beach. There'll also be a special Memorial Day Mass at 10 o'clock at Holy Cross Cemetery and Mortuary in Culver City to honor the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military. And all throughout the show, I'm going to sprinkle in some more events so that just in case I didn't nail a commemoration or an honoring in your area, this way then you'll be able to know. So I'll just, sprinkle them in. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk with an incredible lady. And what she has done, when you hear her story, her name is Evita Yaniguez de la Cruz. She's the founder and president of Veteran Suicide Awareness Project. She's amazing. She's a veteran herself, but she has this really very real, very raw reason as to why she started the Veteran Suicide Project, and I am so looking forward to talking with her in just a second. But right now, let's get back to your drive and see what's up on the 5.
There's a stall on the southbound side in Norwalk. It's located at Carmenita Road. It's taken with that right lane. Watch for sudden slowing. Heading to Newhall on the northbound side of the 5 at the 14. There's a crash involving a big rig along the right shoulder of the truck route. And there is police activity in Studio City. 101 northbound at Laurel Canyon. They have the on-ramp shut down. Can't find this guy. Helps get you there faster. I'm Soren Crump.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen report, limitations apply.
Another day, another ugly scene with NBA spectators. A Celtics fan was arrested for throwing a water bottle at Kyrie Irving. The Nets star said he wants to be treated like a human being.
They're in a human zoo, throwing stuff at people, saying things. There's a certain point where it gets to be too much.
And Anthony Davis left Game 4 with a groin strain as the Lakers fell to the Suns. AD is day-to-day with the series tied at 2. I'm Missy Jordan.
At Mercedes-AMG, giving 110% isn't just possible, it's mandatory. They squeeze every last drop of performance out of every last coupe, sedan, roadster, and SUV. Visit MBUSA.com/AMG. Mercedes-AMG, driving performance.
You know, maybe you're having people over for a Memorial Day cookout today, and one of the things that you've had to think about is, oh shoot, did we pick up a couple extra cases of bottled water? Oh please. That is so 2020. Don't go back there again. Eliminate the cost and hassle of buying wasteful plastic water bottles and just put in a LifeSource whole house water system. How cool would this be? You could just put out regular old glasses. Remember, like old school glasses? And you could tell your guests, hey, just run over there, flip on any faucet. Shoot, fill up your glass in the bathtub. It doesn't matter. We've got clean, delicious, filtered water coming out of every tap in our house. How cool would that be? And you don't have any filters to change. Your guests aren't going to know how easy this is. No maintenance of any kind. They're not going to know that LifeSource installed it and you got to forget about it. And a LifeSource water system reduces the odor and taste of chlorine from inside your water, so you'll be hydrating your body on the inside and your skin and your hair. They're going to thank you too. And with a LifeSource water system, you're buying directly from the factory, and the team's here to provide installation and customer service support for the lifespan of your system. The factory serves SoCal for over 36 years, and all the products are made in the USA. And if you're looking to join a growing team, LifeSource is hiring team members in your area. So call LifeSource today and get full service and full confidence in your water. Call them at 1-800-334-5009, 1-800-334-5009, or just visit LifeSourceWater.com. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
It's the Ford Memorial Day Sell-a-thon, and we want your trade-in. Want to get paid to trade? How about $2,500 trade assist cash on a Ford Explorer? That's right. If your trade-in is worth $5,000, you'll get $7,500 towards your Explorer. So, what are you waiting for? Get here.
Must trade in 1995 or newer vehicle for trade assist cash and must finance with Ford credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Total trade assist cash not compatible with other factory offers. Dealer determines trade-in value. Amount varies. Offer valid 2/6/1.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? Then shop at Ralph's. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Ralph's app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
If you're worried about your cholesterol, hear how others are taking charge with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula.
My doctor said my cholesterol was borderline, so I've been taking Garlic, and it works.
I take Garlic every day to help maintain healthy cholesterol. No garlic bread.
And Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency, so you know it works.
Take charge of your cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Blue Star Medicated Ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast or your money back.
If high ping takes you from first place to last place, you're not a bad gamer. You just need better internet. Get AT&T Fiber and get a ping rate under 11 milliseconds and unlimited data. With 20 times faster upload speed, AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT. Speed comparison based on AT&T Internet 1000 wired upload connection speed versus major cable providers 1 gig service with uploads of 35 megabits per second. Speeds vary, not guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
When it comes to keeping you safe, Bay Alarm brings the best. Family-owned and celebrating 75 years of professional personal service that's second to none. Bay Alarm, celebrating our past, securing your future. ACO 28CCL880138.
Don't spend more than you have to on your mobile service. Spectrum Mobile could save you up to 40% versus what you're paying now. And nationwide 5G is included in every data plan. Plus, Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and has the most reliable mobile service, coast to coast, with no No hidden taxes, fees, or contracts. Visit SpectrumMobile.com today. 40% savings based on a comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/27/2021. Fastest overall speed, most reliable, based on Nielsen speed test, latest FCC report, and route metrics.
Hi, it's John and Ken. Memorial Day weekend marks the unofficial start of summer 2021.
Take us with you. Whether you're hitting the beach or hosting a backyard barbecue, you can bring KFI AM 640 with the free iHeart app.
Plus, to keep the party going, we turned off the commercials on our throwback stations like iHeart 90s, Fly Nation, iHeart Country 90s, Slippery When Wet, and Smells Like the 90s.
Ooh. Or relax poolside, slip into a summer podcast binge. Only on the free iHeart app, #1 for music, radio, and podcasts.
I hear someone go, didn't it come from you guys?
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma. I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a nurse. I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist.
Bus driver. I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the bias.
Help stop the spread of anti-Asian racism by visiting iHeartRadio.com/fightthebias. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels, the Ad Council, and iHeartRadio.
Hey, it's your old buddy Neil Saavedra. You've got a beautiful bottle of white wine, but you need to chill it quickly. Looking at you, Shannon Farron. Here's a great trick. Wrap your wine bottle in a wet dish towel, or even a few wet paper towels will work. Pop it in the freezer, and the bottle will be chilled in 10 minutes or less. Just don't forget about it.
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra.
KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The countdown is on. Don't you forget, Dodger Stadium will return to full capacity on June 15th. And your world champion Dodgers take on the St. Louis Cardinals tonight at 6:10. You can listen in HD on the free iHeartRadio app. Search AM 570 LA Sports, brought to you by Nutrisystem. Go to Nutrisystem.com/baseball and lose weight fast, all with free delivery. Well, right now, I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right to a woman who I think is incredible. Evita De La Cruz, I want to say thank you so much for joining me this morning. And your story, before we even get into the Veteran Suicide Awareness Project, your story is pretty incredible. Welcome to Wake Up Call.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. So if you would, walk us back through why you wanted to start this project. And I think it's going to have to go all the way back to you being in the service and meeting your husband.
Oh, man, I don't think I can remember back that far. In 2009, I deployed to Iraq. I'm a medic in the Air Force, and I met my husband. He was actually one of my patients. So back then, we didn't have cell phones to be able to talk or text each other. So he asked me for my email address, and I was like, all right. And when we both came back to the States, he was stationed at Fort Hood in Texas, and I was stationed in California, Southern California at March. He asked me if he can come visit me, and I was thinking, like, yeah, sure, he's not going to come visit me. And he actually did. He came and visited me. We spent, like, an awesome week together, and I just knew that he was somebody that I wanted to, like, pursue a relationship with. So that's what we decided to do. Honestly, it was expensive, so we had to fly back and forth from California to Texas, and I did most of the flying because he was active duty and I'm in the reserve. So we did that. And I knew that he was a person that I was meant to be with when he told me that he fell in love with my son, who was 7 years old at the time.
Oh, you knew he was the one.
I did. When he told me that he loved Mark, my son's name was Mark. Oh. I was like, all right, let's make it happen. So, I mean, long story kind of short, our daughter, she's 10 years old now, but my husband, he deployed. And he deployed in her first year of life. You know, he watched her grow up on Skype and on Facebook, and I've emailed him pictures. When he came home on leave, she actually took our daughter's name is Liliana. She actually took her first steps to him.
Oh, that is beautiful.
The day that he was supposed to leave to the airport.
Wow.
So I'm so glad they have that memory. So my husband deploys. When he comes back, we decide that I'm going to move to Texas. So I take the kids, we're going to move to Texas. You know, everything is fine. But when he came back from Iraq the second time, he wasn't the same person. We used to fight over every little thing. I just knew he wasn't the same person. You know, being a medic in the Air Force, they show you, like, you do see the suicide awareness training. And I just knew that something was wrong. And, you know, I asked him, because, you know, you see service members and you hear the news sometimes, and devastating things happen. And I asked him if me and the kids were going to be okay. If we are going to be safe being with him. He promised me. He's like, yes, I promise you we'll be safe with you. So we moved to Texas, and, you know, we left our lives in California. We were together. And I just remember, you know, I'm a Gold Star wife. For those that don't know, a Gold Star wife means that I lost my husband in service to the nation while they served on active duty. And unfortunately, I never got that knock on the door. There weren't uniformed personnel, you know, dressed in blue, telling me that my husband had died overseas. Because I was there when he took his last breath. I was holding our daughter at the time. She was 21 months old when he took his life.
Unbelievable. I didn't mean,
you know, looking. No, fine.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I sort of, I want to stop you really fast before you go on. Not just as a medic, but as a wife. You know your husband inside out. And for you to even have the wherewithal to ask him if you guys were going to be safe to be with him, you had to have seen some warning signs. But even those warning signs never prepare you that someone might take their life. It's just a matter of, oh, you think they're going through something.
Right, exactly. I never would have thought in a million years. If you would have told me that on January 13th, 2013, that my husband would be dead before midnight that night, before 11:59, I would have told you were crazy. Because he was the type of person that could walk into a room and, you know, his personality was so big, like he would literally light that room on fire. That's just the type of person he was. And he would go anywhere, and you would be his friend. Like, he would leave and you would be his brother or his sister. That's just the type of man that he was. And, you know, I struggled a lot, obviously. I mean, it's traumatic, and sometimes I still think about how he died, and I did struggle, and I was ashamed of it, of course, because, you know, he died by suicide. That's automatically a stigma, you know, survivor's guilt, survivor's stigma, survivor's shame. And May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, so, you know, after that, I actually planned my own suicide. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get choked up.
Oh, no, please.
But I did. I planned my own suicide. I wrote suicide letters to my kids and to my mom and my dad and my brothers. You know, I told them that I was sorry, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was tired. I was tired of trying to be strong for everybody. And I was actually going to do it that weekend. But I was home in California. You know, my family is supportive. They're amazing. They went and picked us up from Texas. They drove all our stuff back. So I was looking through his stuff. You know, I was getting my stuff ready and his stuff ready because I was going to take my life out, and I was going to put everything in the bag for my kids for, like, forever. So, like, okay, this is what part of us that I want you to have. You know, please keep on to this. And so I was going through his rucksack that he had taken with him on deployment. And I was going through one of the inside pockets, and I found a little field Bible, and I remember looking at it, and I was so angry. I was like, this didn't do nothing for him. Like, why? You know, I was angry with God. And I was flipping through the pages, and I just was, like, opening it and closing it. And then I looked down, and one of the first verses that I read, it was, submit yourselves to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And that comes from James chapter 4, verse 7. And I'm a person that believes in everything happens for a reason, divine intervention. My husband's name is James, and his birthday is April 7th. So I took that as a sign that I need to fight for my life, and I needed to be a voice for him and for his brothers and sisters that are no longer here from us. I took that as a sign for him, like, no, babe, like, you're not going to do this. You're going to live the life that you were meant to live. So I decided, you know, to talk about my husband's story, because it's a story that a lot of people need to hear. And as a veteran myself, you know, I struggle with suicidal thoughts and depression, you know, and PTSD, and I know I'm not alone. And it's okay to admit that you need help and that you just struggle, and never be ashamed to ask for help. And I wanted to share my husband's life because, like I said, it's a story that needs to be heard. And I will keep doing it until the day I die. So I founded Veteran Suicide Awareness Project in his honor. And I'm actually in the middle of completing a 22-mile ruck march right now. We started in Norco, and we're in Riverside. We're actually on trail line. We're going to be ending at Riverside National Cemetery, hopefully by 7 or 8 o'clock. So it's 22 miles. We started off with about 40 people, and we're down to half right now. Wow. And everybody that participates, we carry an American flag with a picture of service members that died by suicide and their families. You know, they give me these pictures like, please take my loved one with you. You know, they love to see that. Like, just because they died by suicide, that doesn't define the person that they were.
Oh, absolutely.
Simply that was how my husband died, right? You know, he was an awesome soldier, friend, husband, father, everything. So as long as I'm here, I'll share his story for anyone that will listen.
If people are struggling right now, or they know somebody who's struggling, and they go to veteransuicideawarenessproject.org, what resources are there for them, and how can they get in contact with you? Because unfortunately, I'm sure that your story is very similar to a lot of people's stories.
That's very true. Like you said, my website, veteransuicideawarenessproject.org. There's contact information on there. You can email me, and I can link you up to, depending on what area you're in, we link veterans up with the different VA clinics, because I know personally myself, I don't like to go to the VA hospital. I prefer like a vet center, because I feel like I'm with peers that, you know what I've been through and know what I've seen and how I feel.
Evita, I can't tell you how much it means to me to know that you and Mark and Liliana are carrying your husband's name through life like this, and it's shining such a spotlight on it and giving everybody else the opportunity to not go through what you went through, because you are offering all these resources. And if you were here right now from one Army wife to another, I would hug you like crazy. So thank you so much for your service. And thank you for carrying on this project. It is an amazing, amazing tribute.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the chance to talk about my husband. And, you know, it's not just about him. It's about his brothers and sisters who also struggle and they're no longer here with us. We need to keep remembering them, keep saying their names and honoring them and showing that their families, you know, that their lives matter.
God bless that sentiment. Thank you so much, Evita. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, and best of luck with the rest of your ruck today. Oh, she's gone already. All right, again, if you want that information, please go to veteransuicideawarenessproject.org. veteransuicideawarenessproject.org. And Evita De La Cruz will put you in touch with the right people. I told you she was incredible. Ugh. Soren, how many times did you have tears in your eyes? Unbelievable story.
Almost the entire time. Yeah, that was really, really moving. Very touching.
I mean, I honestly don't think I knew. I had no idea, obviously, that she was going to go into a lot of those different avenues. Just the fact that she's able to be so open and raw is amazing too. Amazing.
Very strong. Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right. I didn't even check where you're going. Where are you heading?
We're going to the 57 2A crash. It's a slow car crash on the southbound side of the 57 in San Dimas at Arrow Highway. It went down the right shoulder embankment, and CHP and tow truck are currently on scene to watch for a lot of activity along that shoulder as you approach the area. Heading to Norwalk on the southbound 5, just after Carmenita, there is a stall that's taking away that right lane. And a look at conditions on the westbound side of the 91 leaving Bellflower. Your ride from down the avenue to the 110 is approximately 10 minutes. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Soren from.
Rick Edelman, award-winning radio host and founder of Edelman Financial Engines, takes questions on his radio show. Let's hear his advice on annuities.
Hey Rick, I'm looking for a good investment. Should I consider a fixed annuity?
Well, fixed annuities aren't really investments, they're insurance products. You'll get a fixed rate of return from them, but it might not be enough to offset taxes and inflation. Most annuity contracts require you to keep the money there for 5 to 10 years, and if you're under age 59 and a half, any withdrawals are subject to a 10% IRS penalty. You should talk, therefore, to a fee-based financial advisor to see if an annuity is right for you. not someone who makes a living earning commissions selling annuities. You want a fiduciary who puts your best interests first.
If you're looking for a trusted partner who's got your back, talk to one of our experienced financial planners by calling 888-PLAN-RICK or visit rickedelman.com.
Socal weather from KFI. Looks like it's going to be a mostly sunny day ahead. Highs will be in the mid-60s at the coast to mid to upper 80s inland. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Where can you find Memorial Day specials all month long on new Hondas? The Norm Reeves Honda Superstore during the Norm Reeves Memorial Day event. Super comes standard with our friendly sales team and convenient buying process that puts you in the driver's seat. Whether you shop in store or online, you'll find a super experience that makes car buying fun. Plus, choose your super new ride from one of the largest Honda inventories in Southern California. Come see how Norm Reeves sets the standard for car buying during the Norm Reeves Memorial Day event. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com. That's for Global Honda New Vehicle Sales 2020.
Even if you've been vaccinated, wear a mask in public indoor spaces, in crowded outdoor areas. To mask up and make sure that your nose, mouth, and chin are completely covered. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the Center at Sierra Health Foundation.
SoCal is opening back up, and Good Day LA is ready to welcome you back. That's right, Mom. We're covering fresh stories just for you and exploring solutions to issues through discussions with community leaders, all while having a little bit of fun. Catch Good Day LA weekdays 4 to 10 on Fox 11.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50. That's a lot of living. So it helps to have someone in your corner, right here in your community. That someone is AARP. We're hosting free events and providing helpful resources. Because the longer you live, the more you need AARP to help you stay active, healthy, and informed.
Join AARP Los Angeles for an online caregiving workshop. They're hosting 2 sessions in June. Learn more at aarp.org/near-you.
KFI AM 640.
Local.
And our radio station.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app on this Memorial Day 2021. I'm glad you're with me. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Some of the stories we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. We just got an alert from ABC7 that with travel plans long delayed because of the pandemic, Memorial Day weekend travelers have already set a new 2021 record at LAX. More than 78,000 people passing through TSA just on Friday. And they will get an update now on the latest numbers a little bit later this morning. And the reward is increased to $400,000 for information leading to the arrest